Filmed in sub-zero Yorkshire temperatures, the crash demanded grit from the cast. Shahidi recalled shivering for hours in a soaked gown, her teeth chattering between takes. It was hellish, but it paid off, she told The Sun. You felt the stakes. Now, her voice-over recorded post-exit adds a haunting layer, a choice director Jane Hudson called a gift to the fans. Roxy's voice brings Leyla back, just for a moment, Hudson shared at a press screening. It's closure and heartbreak in one. Fan reactions on X are a cocktail of grief and hype. Layla's funeral's gonna wreck me, Roxy's voiceover. Genius, one posted, while another predicted, Jacob's hospital scene will be awards bait. Joe Warren's killing it. Joe and Dawn's fling splits opinion, hot but messy, one fan tweeted. Kim's gonna bury them both, warned another. Theories swirl about Kim's next move. Will she expose the affair or wield it as blackmail? She's got that glint in her eye, Bromley hinted on ITV Weekend. Dawn's in deep. As Thursday nears, Emmerdale's weaving a tapestry of loss and lust. Layla's farewell could echo iconic soap funerals. Think Corey's Sinead Tinker or EastEnders' Pat Butcher, while Jacob's spiral and Joe's gamble promise foul out. It's vintage Emmerdale, Shahidi reflected. Big emotions, big risks. Tune in weeknights on ITV1 or ITVX. March 6th episode, airing at 7:30 p.m., might just redefine moving television. Prepare for tears. Emmerdale fans, an emotional gut punch is on the horizon as Roxy Shahidi returns to lend her voice to Leyla Harding's funeral episode, airing Thursday, March 6, 2025. The ITV soap is pulling out all the stops for Layla's send-off, a poignant capstone to her shocking death in last week's limo crash that also snuffed out Amy Wyatt and Susie Merton. Shahidi's voice over a spectral thread weaving through the grief promises to elevate the episode into a must-watch, marking a bittersweet farewell to a character who's been a Hope Valley fixture for over a decade. Shahidi, who embodied Layla's wit and warmth since 2008, didn't see the axe coming. I was very shocked, she confessed to TV Times, still processing the call from producers. You think you're safe, then bam. But a blunt truth from the top softened the blow. They told me, you have to be worth killing to get a death this dramatic, she said, a half-laugh escaping. It's grim, but I'll take it. Leyla went out with a bang, not a whimper. That bang came when a limousine, ferrying the trio to a glitzy event, fish-tailed into an icy lake. Layla's desperate crawl across the ice ended in a plunge, her fate sealed in a hospital bed as monitors flatlined a scene Shahidi called the hardest I've ever shot. A fresh spoiler clip from Emmerdale teases the funeral's weight. Villagers shuffle through a gray morning. Liam Kavanagh adjusts his tie with shaky hands. Tracy Robinson clutches a hymnal while Layla's voice-over drifts in, laced with regret and revelation. I spent my life chasing love, didn't I? Her words echo, a nod to her stormy romances and fierce bond with St. Jacob. Maybe I should have stopped running. The snippet cuts to a hearse rolling past the Woolpack, mourners trailing behind, their faces etched with a loss still raw from the crash's fallout. It's a tableau primed to break hearts, with Shahidi's narration as the gutting cherry on top. Grief ripples beyond the church in a second clip, spotlighting Jacob Gallagher, Joe Warren Plant. Later in the week, the young doctor in training faces a nightmare at the hospital. A patient arrives mirroring Layla's injuries: blue lips, shattered bones. Jacob locks up, his clipboard clattering to the floor. I can't do this, he chokes out, bolting from the ward as colleagues exchange worried glances. Plant, who's grown up on the soap, told Digital Spy, Jacob's lost his anchor. Leyla was everything. This sees him unraveling. Fans are already hailing it as an Emmy-worthy turn, with Plant's boyish charm giving way to haunted depth. Meanwhile, Monday's episode March 3 shifts gears to Home Farm, where Joe Tate, Ned Porteous, stokes a forbidden flame with Dawn Fletcher, Olivia Bromley. Ignoring Kim Tate's veiled threats, cross me, and you're done, she'd snarled. Joe pulls Dawn into a heated embrace. I've got to lie low 2 weeks, maybe more, he whispers, urgency in his eyes. Kim's circling. Their tryst nearly combusts when Dawn's husband, Billy J. Consul, strides in, forcing a frantic cover-up. Joe fumbles with a book. Dawn mutters about dusting. We dodged a bullet. Bromley giggled on loose women, but added, they're reckless. It's only a matter of time. Porteous agreed. Joe's arrogance is his Achilles heel. Kim's watching. The funeral episode's roots stretch back to the limo crash, a logistical titan filmed over frostbitten nights in Yorkshire. "We were popsicles," Shahidi told The Express, recalling the crew hosing down the set to come. Emmerdale spoilers follow. Emmerdale star Roxy Shahidi returns for a moving voiceover in Leyla Harding's funeral episode next week. The popular cast member plays a special role in her character's emotional send-off, which airs on Thursday evening, March 6. Leyla lost her life in the ITV soap's Big Limo Crash storyline last week. Roxy admitted that she was very shocked when she heard that Leyla would be killed off, but took it as a compliment when a producer pointed out that you have to be worth killing to get such a dramatic exit. Fans can get a first glimpse at Leyla's funeral episode in a new spoiler clip released by Emmerdale. The new footage shows the villagers preparing for the difficult day ahead, while the voiceover of Leyla reflects on her life. Meanwhile, a second spoiler clip for next week previews a devastating moment for Leyla's grieving son Jacob Gallagher at the hospital. When a patient is admitted with injuries mirroring Leyla's, Jacob freezes and is unable to help. Elsewhere, the final new clip for next week from Monday's episode March 3 shows Joe Tate's latest romantic rendezvous with Don Fletcher at home farm. In the wake of Kim's threats, Joe tells Don that he'll have to go away for a while and he'll be gone for at least 2 weeks. Joe defies Kim's warnings by pursuing Don again, but they're interrupted when Don's husband Billy arrives home. The love cheats have time to compose themselves, but are they starting to take too many risks? An emotional roller coaster awaits Emmerdale fans next week as the ITV soap delivers a tear-jerking farewell to Leyla Harding, with actress Roxy Shahidi returning for a poignant voiceover in her character's funeral episode. Airing Thursday, March 6, 2025, the special installment promises to tug at heartstrings, capping off Leyla's tragic exit in last week's limo crash, a blockbuster storyline that also claimed Amy Wyatt and Susie Merton. Shahidi's ethereal narration will guide viewers through a day of mourning in Hope Valley, blending reflection and raw grief in a send-off that's already generating buzz. Shahidi, a fan favorite after years as the sharp-tongued Leyla, opened up to Inside Soap about her shock at the kill-off. "I was very shocked, I didn't see it coming," she admitted, her voice tinged with disbelief. But a producer's pep talk shifted her perspective. "They said you have to be worth killing to get an exit this big," she recalled, managing a wry smile. "It's a twisted compliment, isn't it? I took it as a badge of honor." The limo crash, a chaos of ice and wreckage, was a fittingly dramatic curtain call. Leyla perished after plunging into a frozen lake, leaving behind a legacy of fierce love and tangled lies. A newly released spoiler clip from Emmerdale offers a glimpse into the funeral episode, airing just days after the current date of March 3, 2025. The footage captures villagers in hushed preparation, black ties, knotted flowers arranged, while Leyla's voiceover floats above, wistful and wise. "Life's a mess, isn't it?" her disembodied words muse, a nod to her roller coaster arc from wedding planner to heartbroken mother. "But it's the mess that makes it ours." The camera lingers on familiar faces, Belle King adjusting a veil, David Metcalf staring blankly at a photo hinting at a communal wound still fresh from the crash's aftermath. The emotional stakes climb higher in a second clip, spotlighting Leyla's son Jacob Gallagher, Joe Warren Plant. Set later in the week, the scene unfolds at the hospital where Jacob, a budding medic, faces a crushing moment. A patient arrives with injuries eerily similar to Leyla's hypothermia, a fractured rib, and Jacob freezes, his stethoscope trembling in his hand. "I can't," he stammers, eyes wide with panic, as a colleague steps in. Plant told Radiates it's Jacob's breaking point. Losing Leyla was one thing, but this, it's like she's dying all over again. Fans are bracing for a performance that could cement Plant as a soap standout. Elsewhere, Monday's episode March 3 teases a different flavor of drama, Joe Tate's steamy entanglement with Don Fletcher at home farm. Played by Ned Porteous, Joe's back in defiance of Kim Tate's icy warnings, his chemistry with Dawn, Olivia Bromley, crackling as they steal a moment by the fireplace. "I've got to go away 2 weeks, maybe more," Joe murmurs, his hand lingering on Dawn's cheek. Kim's on the warpath. The rendezvous is cut short when Dawn's husband, Billy J. Consul, strolls in, oblivious but close to catching them red-handed. The lovers scrambled to cover their tracks, Joe smoothing his shirt, Dawn feigning a cough, but the clip ends on a tense note. "They're playing with fire," Porteous teased on This Morning. Joe's too cocky and Dawn's too drawn, and Kim won't let this slide. The funeral episode's build-up comes as Emmerdale reels from its latest tragedy, a limo plunge that's already etched into soap lore.